And the hits just keep on coming for Nintendo, and we're not talking about games. We're talking about their ongoing litigation with Palworld. They just took another hit. Nintendo lost. Nintendo's ongoing Pokemon patent lawsuit takes another hit, according to Kotaku. And they're trying to use patent trolling to stop competitors from making games similar to their cash cows. And this
this time I think they were after like the handheld device or like phone version of the Pokeball.
Yeah.
Because didn't they try that before and it got rejected? Now they're trying it on like different devices.
Yeah, so before what they lost was the ability to capture and summon monsters, and like there's so many games out there that let you do that. Mm-hmm. And this is specifically Nintendo going after Pocket Pair, which is the creator of Palworld. The reason they're doing that is because Palworld got too big, because there are other monster capture games out there that aren't, getting targeted by Nintendo like this, but Palworld blew up, and now Sony's getting involved with Palworld, and that's their competitor, so they're going to use every dirty trick in the book.
See, to me, a couple things. One, Palworld only was as big as it was because it offered players kind of stuff that Pokemon wasn't offering, it wasn't doing. But two, if it would have been me and I was Nintendo, I'd have been like, oh, I'm going to buy you out or work with you and then try to work together and, to make a game. But no, they didn't do it, so here comes Sony. I mean, to me, I would have teamed up. If they're doing it we do better, maybe we'll work together and make it all on Pokemon, and no, can't do that. It's have to try to sue. And all the money you spent suing, you could have just probably teamed up.
Yeah, this whole thing is ridiculous. And I have to wonder if Nintendo does lose big on this whole Palworld thing, if they will maybe back the hell off from their litigious ways, because Nintendo is one of the most litigious. I would say Nintendo's actually worse at this point than Disney.
Yeah, that's saying something. Because Disney sues for everything.
they're striking fan games. They're striking fan channels. They took down the National Geographic channel, which was very popular.
And to me, that's like free advertisement. You know, there's advertising, giving more in-depth stuff to your characters. And I mean, unless they were doing some brand damaging, which they weren't.
They weren't.
I don't see the problem. I mean, it was actually probably helping. It's like when people get mad when people are doing like reviews of their stuff, or they're doing like, I know there was some talk that some other toy places had hit people's channels for using their toys in videos. It's free advertising.
Yeah.
People are actually watching.
Yeah. I don't understand it. But let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And if you'd like more of us, go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's more.clownfishtv.com for more Clownfish TV. Help support the reef. Thank you very much to those of you who do support us. Our reefers help make these videos possible. All right, so we don't do a lot of Nintendo gameplay on our gaming channel because I'm always afraid that Nintendo's going to come after us because they're crazy.
We have done Animal Crossing and stuff, though.
We did Animal Crossing, but when it comes to Pokemon specifically, like they're really, really, really territorial about that. And I'm waiting for the day when they're going to go back to what they were doing before, which is if you wanted to stream their games, you had to give them 50% of whatever you made off the stream. Mm-hmm. And that was very, very unpopular. Actually, Nintendo's own...
stupid.
It is. Nintendo's own litigious ways is what led to, I think, all these indie games blowing up, like Five Nights at Freddy's and Among Us and all those kind of games, Subnautica even. And I think what happened was streamers picked indie games because they knew they weren't going to get hit, and they knew that the studios behind those games were just happy to have the promotion, the free promotion.
Well, Nintendo, if people are playing your games and they're having like lots of people watch them play and a lot of people being excited about your games, and it was going out there and selling games for you, why the fuck would you take it down? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It is like anti-help.
Yeah. It makes it look bad. The thing is, Nintendo's fans are very much like Disney fans in the fact that Nintendo can do no wrong. Like, Nintendo could eat babies. Pikachu and Mario could share a baby together and they could eat the baby. And these people will be
Epstein's Island,
Yeah. And some of these people, I swear to God, I see them on Reddit. They would just be like, well, that's just the moral thing to do because Nintendo, they're the good guys, the cute, cuddly Pokemon creatures. They're so in love with this brand, that this brand can do nothing wrong, and they're very, very much like Disney fans, where like they can do the most insidious thing ever, but because I like Mickey Mouse, it's like I love Pikachu, so there's nothing they can do wrong. And this is the same Nintendo that just in the last week or two, I've covered a couple stories. We covered the one about the shop that got robbed, the card shop, the Pokemon card shop, and Nintendo's reaction to that was, you need to change your name because it's infringing on our copyright.
Right.
Like, not like, hey, you guys okay? No, it's like, change your name. And then the one wrestler, Rhodes, wears the Triforce on his boots, which is not actually something Nintendo owns. It actually was an old a Japanese symbol, but from a tribe. And they went after him and told him to take it off his boots.
Did he take it off? Or
Yeah,
did
he did. He said they were nice
would've-
about it, but I'm like, what the actual hell?
If they don't own it, then they can't. I'd be like, no, because we've seen other places go after people for stuff that they didn't own or wording or way it was worded, and some people predated their IP, and it's like, tell them no.
You know, I'm sitting here like, how ridiculous is it going to get to if somebody loves Pokemon or loves Mario and they've got their arms are covered in, you know, Nintendo tattoos, and they post about it on Instagram? Is Nintendo's lawyers going to be like, hey, yeah, you need to take the tattoos, or we're going to come to your house and we're going to cut your damn arms off? Because that sleeve is. Nintendo will call the Pinkertons in to cut your damn arms off because you've got copyright infringing shit on your sleeve. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But I was like,
no one's doing that.
Nobody's doing that. But I'm just saying, this is how
ridiculous. You're taking it a little far. But anyway.
No, I'm sorry. I don't think I take it far enough, because every time I see one of these Nintendo legal dramas, it's always like, that is a massive overreaction. But what they're trying to do is, they're, again, like the Pinkertons, they're trying to send a signal to people like, okay, you want to pirate our games? We're going to totally break this guy's soul just so nobody else will think about pirating our games. You know, it's wild.
It's extreme.
All right, so this comes from Kotaku. The continued effort of Nintendo and the Pokemon Company to use patents protecting certain gameplay mechanics to block out competition like Power World has taken another L. The company has been denied a patent for Pokeball-style capture and release mechanics on touchscreen devices like phones and tablets. So I think they were maybe trying to do something to block them from making, because I think they were talking about doing a Pokemon Go type game with Power World.
I don't know. This is maybe because they already got told no for the same kind of thing on consoles, and now they're trying to go, okay, well, fine, we'll just go over to phones and touchscreens. It's like, come on.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Like, I don't care if you love Nintendo, Pokemon, whatever. I don't care. I like Pokemon too. I do. But the thing is that Nintendo, if they're allowed to use patent law or abuse patent law to stop competitors from creating games that are similar to theirs, then that's a huge problem, because it's going to go all the way back to like the 80s and 90s. Like, Sonic the Hedgehog is too much like Super Mario, so we're gonna make sure we patent the ability to run from left to right collecting metal objects, so nobody else can, and jumping on platforms. Nobody else can make a platformer except for Nintendo.
Yeah, and I'm sure there could be arguments made that some of the things they want to patent were done by other people first. And they're trying to patent something that somebody else did before they did, and it's going to be a problem. And they're getting told no, they're getting shot down again, and rightfully so.
All right, so this is the original post came from Games Frey, who breaks down the patent, which I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail there because it's very complicated. But they said you could check out Games Frey's post on the matter for a breakdown of all the legalese. But in layperson's terms, Nintendo attempted to patent the use of a touch panel to use a capture item for capturing a field character disposed in the field, which essentially means any touchscreen game that has Pokeball-style capture devices to trap or release a character owned by the player so that they can perform a battle with a field character. That's Pokemon Go, basically. This is just describing Pokemon mechanics in the broadest terms possible in the hopes of getting a patent that could affect touchscreen games like the upcoming, Power World Mobile, coming to phones and tablets later this year.
That's always about Power World with these guys.
Yep. The Japanese Patent Office denied the application on the grounds it didn't include an inventive step or add any sort of new innovation beyond already common established mechanics.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Well, they got their patent thrown out in the U.S.
In the U.S., yes.
Yeah, because Japanese law is a little bit different, but I think the Japanese maybe are starting to wise up to this. They're like, wait a minute. you guys are just trying to knock out the competition by abusing our
Patent
system.
law, yeah.
And that's bullshit. Nintendo may amend the claim again after having already done so once back in February. For now, it's been rejected. They were actually going back and like retroactively changing their patents to try to. So they already filed for the patent, but they're going back and trying to change the patent just to knock out Power World.
Well, they were also trying to get
Stupid.
patents for things that they didn't patent before, and then like, well, we were doing it retroactively and stuff, and it's like, no.
They said, womp womp. This is coming from Kotaku. Womp womp. The attempts by the Pokemon Company and Nintendo to undercut Power World through patents has been an ongoing saga since 2024. They announced they were suing Pocket Pair on the grounds of patent infringement following a months-long investigation launched shortly after the monster taming survival game was released in January of 2024.
Translation, month-long investigation, meaning it released and kicked our ass.
That's exactly what happened.
And now we're mad. If it hadn't done well, we wouldn't be here.
Power World was an unexpected hit. Like, it was massive. It was one of the highest concurrent player counts ever on Steam. But part of that was because the gaming press ran with it being Pokemon with guns. And
well, that and the fact that, and then the fact that they people were accusing it of stealing character designs.
Yeah.
And, there are some similar, but they're not the same. And then they even mentioned here that instead of like focusing on the fact that we think that they stole our designs or they were too close to our designs, they decided to go try to take go the route of you can't use game mechanics,
right?
Which was really dumb because it's going to be really hard to do that, especially since a lot of these mechanics have been around for years and other people have used them before they used them. And it's going to be a very hard argument to make. But instead of arguing about, copyright infringement as far as the look of the characters, which is also going to be a hard argument if it's more than 25% different and there's enough differences to claim that it's, you can't say all little chibi animals, no one else can make them but Nintendo. So either way, they were going to get their butts kicked.
Well, yeah, they said it could fall under parody law. But beyond that, the first generation of Pokemon lifted a lot of things from like the Dragon Quest series and from other Japanese games, and you can see it in a lot of the characters. I mean, that's
they're
just kind of the way
more widely known. But the Pokemon characters are just more widely known.
Well, it's like even Super Mario. A lot of things in Super Mario, like the wing cap and all that, they lifted it from Toriyama manga, from Dr. Slump and Dragon Ball, and so they're, yeah. So I mean, if you want to go there, I mean, technically, Nintendo, a lot of what Nintendo tries to pass off as being innovative, they actually have lifted from other sources.
Well, and even if they would get it passed, they're going to be selectively implementing where they fight it, meaning Power World. Like, they're going to only go after probably Power World and anybody they think is their direct competition, and they're going to over-abuse the ruling in their favor if the one exists, but so far they haven't gotten that. I love this legal cockswinging.
Cockswing.
That's my new favorite thing to say. It's legal cockswing.
Yeah, make sure that it's legal, because illegal cockswinging is bad, and they'll probably get you canceled.
They're already eating babies on.
They are.
I say it would have Epstein's Island, but it would be Epsilon Island.
Yeah, there we go. It's crazy. Nintendo really. I mean, I get that they have to, and I get they have to defend their IP. That being said, they are ridiculous and petty, and this whole thing is just, they know that Power World, especially when they're teaming up with, and it was a hole-in-the-wall publisher, it was a small publisher, but they're teaming up with Sony now, and they're talking about basically taking Pokemon head on, card games, anime series, all this stuff, and they're freaking out.
They had Digimon and all other stuff before this. Here's the thing: I think they could have
Monster Rancher.
Yeah, they could have argued more on the look of it being similar, but even then, I think that was a stretch. It's just they're going to have people like it, and I remember I was talking to our son about it, and he was telling me that one of the reasons people love Power World so much is because Pokemon lately, their games weren't great, and there's a lot of things people wanted to do, not necessarily shoot and kill other animals,
like shoot them, kill them, skin them, eat them.
But like other things they wanted to do, and they wouldn't do it. But this game offered some of the things people were looking for, and Nintendo probably knew it was coming. They probably didn't think it would do as well. And then when it's kicking their ass, and now Sony, like you said, is coming into it. Now they care. Yeah. But this is just really, you're going to have a weak argument here, because there's so many other people that do similar things and have for years, and just now you care. They're going to be like, no.
Remember when everybody felt bad for poor little Nintendo getting bullied by Universal and Donkey Kong?
Yeah, I was
and
thinking
that whole
Donkey Kong, yeah.
Yeah, they were like, oh, poor little Nintendo. Oh, big Universal is suing them because Donkey Kong is like King Kong. That's ridiculous. That's not, nobody would mistake those two. Now Nintendo is 100 times more ridiculous than Universal ever was.
You have become what you hated.
You have become what you hated. Are we going to wrap this up?
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.